Okay, so you've decided to start a company. You had a great idea and you've proved to yourself that customers like it and will actually pay you money for it. You did prove that, right? Well, congratulations. It's time for you to jump off the cliff and go for it. Start that company. So, how do you do it? What are the steps? And what should you do and not do? This is Mike Fritsch here at the Northeast Indiana Innovation Center, and we're going to talk about how to start a company. So how do you start a company? Well, first of all, understand that every company is unique and every path is a little different, but there are common tasks and advice that will get you moving in the right direction. Which leads me to the first piece of advice: get professional help. It is possible to do almost everything we're going to talk about yourself, but now is the time to create relationships with good attorneys, accountants, bankers, business incubators, and mentors to make sure you do this the right way. Bad choices can lead to really bad consequences later.
If you don't do it on the front end, particularly if you have more than one person, you could certainly run into a problem of who's got what if things don't work out or whatever. And those can be ugly and very confusing. And as we sometimes say, we've got good news and bad news. The good news is you saved $500 by not getting this set up on the front end. The bad news is it's now going to cost you $5,000 to figure it all out.
So get good advisors on your team early. The saying, "the person who represents themselves has a fool for a client," really is true. One of the first tasks advisors can help you with is creating a plan for your business, a business plan. Business plans can come in many shapes and sizes, from 1 page to 100 pages, and they differ primarily based on the audience. Is this plan just for you, or will you use it to raise money from your investors or lenders? In any case, my advice is to start small and simply, and fill in the details as you grow. At the Innovation Center, we like starting with a 1-page business model canvas. In any case, it's important to express your vision for your company and where you see it going all the way to the end. This plan will help your business advisors know how to set your company up, but more importantly, it will help you set a course for your business and create a financial plan that will help you get there. Based on this plan, you are probably going to want to incorporate your business to create an entity through which you can legally operate.
Ideally, you would create an entity before you engage in business or before you invest money. And the reason to do that is because it's easier to do it on the front end than it is to try to take property or something that's actually been created and contribute it later. And especially if you have more than one person that's going into business, people's expectations are known and are able to be met on the front end. When you are certain that you are going to engage in business, that is the proper time to think about creating an entity to conduct your business. There are generally two kinds of entities that are most prevalent today. There's a limited liability company, LLC, and a corporation. And generally, we use limited liability companies for the most part today. They're easier to create, a little less expensive, little less formal than a corporation, which has bylaws and annual minutes and kind of a whole host of administrative things that you don't necessarily have with a limited liability company. And for that reason, a limited liability company is generally the entity of choice. The other element, though, of choosing an entity is deciding how it's going to be taxed. That's equally important. And again, a limited liability company is much more flexible on the tax end than a corporation. But these are decisions that need to be made right up front you apply for a tax ID number, you have to elect, you make your election whether it's going to be taxed as a partnership, taxed as a corporation. If it's taxed as a corporation, you have to elect to be taxed under Subchapter S. So all these decisions need to be made right on the front end, and there are some considerations that need to be taken into account when you do that, and it's generally a good idea to get some advice on that.
And of course, no matter what business structure you choose, you do have to pick a name for your business, frequently one of the hardest things for entrepreneurs to do. Don't worry about it. You can always change the name you go by later by filing a DBA or doing business as form. You can check for the availability of a name generally by using the Secretary of State's website in your state. You also need to check for the availability of a web address for your company using any number of domain name registration services. Once you've formed your company and the government knows about you, your attorney or accountant will also let the IRS know about you, depending on your company structure. Sorry, but there's no way around this. If you make money, the IRS will want you to pay taxes. Now, most times, an attorney will register your company with the state and with the IRS at the same time. You will receive what's called an EIN number, which is the unique identifier of your business to the government, kind of like a Social Security number for your business. Once you have your corporate paperwork and your EIN number, one of the first things you're going to want to do is establish a banking relationship and create accounts. So shop around. Let your banker know what you want to do with your business and make sure they can handle it. You are also going to want to find out what kind of licenses and permits will be required to operate your business. File for the ones now that you need now, or you could get in trouble. Examples would be a seller's permit from the state if you want to sell retail products, as well as other state, local licenses and permits. Now, one big cost item that many startup businesses tend to overlook when planning is insurance. You need it. This includes coverage for your assets such as vehicles and other property, liability insurance, and of course, don't forget considering health and disability insurance for yourself and your employees. Who can help you with this? Of course, an insurance agent or broker. Another often overlooked item comes into play when you need more than just yourself to make your business run. If you're going to need to hire employees, get with an HR professional and let them help you set up everything you need. A written employee handbook, employment agreements, etc. These are very important to make sure you protect yourself legally. On the financial side, you'll need to set up your books and tax reporting procedures. And as I've said, do it right from the start and don't wait. A good accountant is worth their weight in gold. So let's end with a few summary do's and don'ts for starting your business. Do start with a written plan for your business, but start small and grow from there. Do set up everything the right way from the beginning. Do get it in writing. Use contracts. Do hire the right people, but not until you need them. Do pay your bills and taxes on time, please. And do treat your money like a very precious commodity, because it is. And now the don'ts, and it's a short list. Don't be afraid. Companies like us are here to help. And the main point of this whole video, don't think you can do it all yourself. All of this may sound daunting, but with the right professional advisors, it can start you on the path of being a successful entrepreneur. Remember that creating a successful startup is only 10% about your idea and 90% about your execution. Do it right. This is Mike Fritsch with the Northeast Indiana Innovation Center reminding you that nothing happens until you start.